Hey everybody, it's Alex here with Reportify Media, and you know where I am. I'm in the lovely Chongqing, but I have a very good friend that has joined me, Mr. Cyrus Jansen.
Back in the game, buddy.
Back in the game, 1 year later, viewers. Fantastic to have you here. And well, what's been going on in a year with your life?
Oh man, Alex, first of all, it's so good to be back. You know, one of the things that has really developed is, obviously we're keep growing our YouTube channels. We're, really trying to help spread these geopolitical stories around the world because there's so many things that are happening. And I think what we really want is we want more people to understand, what is China really like? What is going on with Russia, Ukraine? What's going on with Israel, Palestine? Like the whole world is kind of chaos right now. And you know what? The wife and I said, what we need to do? Let's get back to China this summer. We're going to be here for the next 6 weeks. We're going to be traveling throughout the country, filming stuff, and really getting a feel for on the ground. So the biggest thing that has developed in my life is the fact that I'm back in China for the next 6 weeks, and I'm so excited to be back.
Your first impressions of coming here to Chongqing?
So my first impression is it's better than anything that I could imagine because I've seen all your videos. I mean, you are the drone king here in China. You produce the best aerial videos on YouTube regarding China. And it's always amazing because you see the stunning skyline. You see the peninsula that's here. What I love is, we've walked this bridge already 2 or 3 times in the last couple of days, but it's so pleasant. It's so beautiful. You've got the Yangtze River right here. You've got an incredible city that's built right on the side of a mountain. And the energy here is great. And I really, I just wanted to come and experience this for myself, Alex. So I did go to the World Financial Center up on the 73rd floor, 590 meters above ground level. And that's one of the most impressive observation decks I've seen because you're just so kind of exposed up there.
Yep.
It's actually...
Take your camera up.
It's pretty open. I remember going to the Empire State Building and it has the cages are much bigger and taller. So you feel very much open and exposed there. It's pretty remarkable, actually.
How many bridges? Well, there's 14,000 plus bridges in Chongqing.
Yeah.
37 span bridges like this. But how many bridges have a nice little hot dog, a couple of grilled cheese sandwiches, and some...
Nice.
At the base of it, huh?
I think for me is, having lived in China for 10 years, and the farthest west I've been up to this point has been Kunming. And so I said, you know what? I need to go to Chongqing. I've got to take in this mega city, largest city in the world, 35 million people in Chongqing proper. A really great time here. It's been very refreshing. I've just really enjoyed it. Been spending a lot of time with the locals. I've been eating street food, speaking Mandarin every day. I love it. It's so much fun to be back in China.
A little bit of different dialect here, right? Chongqing dialect.
Oh yeah, definitely. But, it's the people, how many times have we been stopped during our filming just by so many young Chinese people coming up and just wanting to practice English and say hello and welcoming us. Everything is welcome to China, and it's great to be here.
It was interesting because I was with you yesterday when we were doing our videos together, and it's not like we're out there seeking attention, but man, if you want to feel like a person that goes to another country and someone rolls out the red carpet for you, the Chinese are very curious.
Well, I think one of the things, Alex, that I've seen a lot is a lot of fear, right? Fear in the media, and there's a certain disconnect because the vast majority of the media that is reporting on China and the vast majority of our politicians that say China is the greatest threat to the world, most of them have never been here. And it's amazing because, here we have, for example, the U.S. State Department has a level 3 travel warning for U.S. citizens to come to China.
Wow.
And the reality is that this is one of the safest countries in the world that you can travel to. One of the questions I've been asking, I just say, well, what do you think of America? What do you think of Americans like me? A couple of the taxi drivers that I asked that to, it was a really cool thing they said. They said, you need to understand this about China. We want peace with everybody in the world. We want to get along with every country. If the whole world can be peace, that's what Chinese people want.
It's funny you're saying it like that because most people will not believe you when you say that.
Oh, again, what's interesting, and I'm going to say this as a U.S. citizen, it's interesting when you hear that China is this aggressive military force that is going to be a threat to the world. Well, when is the last time we saw China in a military conflict?
Right.
When has China initiated a war? When has China, bombed other countries, and displaced millions of Muslims in the Middle East? Things like that. When has China done these things. We just like to go with facts and logic. I think that's unfortunately missing from a lot of the media, is just simply the facts. I mean, for example, we're seeing a lot of propaganda, specifically for the Xinjiang province. Hey, China's committing an act of genocide against the Uyghur population. It's got to be the worst genocide in history because the Uyghur population is increasing year by year in that province. Meanwhile, the United States is funding an act of genocide in Gaza. And, we need peace. We need peace in this world. And I think that is what, if you come and talk to Chinese people, they don't want war. They don't like the Israel-Palestine war. They don't like the Russia-Ukraine war. They very much want that to be, avoided and done. And they certainly don't want a war with Taiwan. They certainly don't want a war with the United States.
Well, Cyrus, there's a couple of things that I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
We do some live streams together. Your channel in the last 6 to 9 months has shifted. Why?
Well, I think what I've really wanting to do with the channel is to have a little bit more of a broader scope.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit more than just China. I want to talk about all of the geopolitics, and that's really what we've seen is, I've started to talk more about Russia, Ukraine. I've started to talk about Israel, Palestine. And what I've really wanted to do is, explore more of the world and these topics because it's all interconnected. And at the end of the day, I very much am on the same page with the Chinese, is that we need to find a way to all coexist, right? The Russia-Ukraine conflict has to come to an end because it's devastating both of those countries, but it's devastating Europe. It's influencing our life in America as well. We look at the Israel-Palestine, that is now looking at that it's going to escalate to a new war with potentially Israel and Iran. US is going to get dragged in. I mean, there's just too much conflicts around the world. So I wanted to, basically talk about these topics as well. And, it's been very well received from the community and very happy to, continue to see the channel grow, and we're going to keep working hard on that.
Now you're in a city in Southwest China, mega city, 35 million plus, growing. How have people treated you here?
Oh, I mean, I think that's what I want people to understand with my experience in China specifically. I've been traveling to the country for 17 years. I lived here for 10, and I've honestly had nothing but positive interactions with Chinese people throughout my entire time. But one of the things I think is so awesome to see this time, I've seen a lot of youth here in Chongqing. A lot of youth. I think, we are in the, close to the summer holidays. So I think there's a lot of, youth that are traveling. And they have, so many people are wanting to come up and practice English. At least say hello, right? Let's take a picture.
They want to talk. They want to say, hey, where are you from? Tell me.
I think the Chinese are some of the most curious people in the world, and very good curious. They want to learn more about your culture. As soon as they find out that I'm from America, they give me a thumbs up, they smile. It helps that I speak Chinese. We obviously have a bit of a conversation in Chinese, and I think this is one of the things that I really want to see more with Alex, is this people-to-people diplomacy, because now that we have more countries around the world opening up, becoming visa-free, that way that you can travel here, it's going to be easier. And what's amazing is I've had a big influence on my community back in Las Vegas where I live, because a lot of the parents that are at our school, a lot of my friends there, they watch our YouTube channels.
Okay.
They're interested because they say, you are presenting a side that we have never heard in the media. And
powerful media.
And when I told them, hey, we're going on a summer holiday, we're going to China for 6 weeks, a lot of them have said, I would love to go to China too.
Oh, that's great.
Now that you've opened that and really exposed us to that, and I think you're going to see that. We're going to see more people wanting to come to China. I think, it's an amazing initiative as well. Xi Jinping, when he met with Biden last November, one of the things he said, I want to have 50,000 American students studying in China. I want that. We need more people-to-people diplomacy. We need more people learning Chinese. We need, obviously America is built on immigration, so we have a tremendous amount of people coming to America, and we just need more of that, and that's what we're doing. That is what our goal is to, just foster more communication and, foster a world where we're working together.
How would you describe the city to people?
I would say it is one of the most geographically interesting places because of its location, right? It's right where two rivers join, and you have these amazing peninsula that's right at the heart of the city. You have these beautiful mountains. It's a beautiful actual climate here as well. It's actually quite nice here in the summer. There's just a certain kind of energy here, right? The people here in Chongqing, they love their spicy food. So we're talking, you've got the spicy peppers, The locals here have this kind of flavor as well. I'd say it's kind of the spice of China. We're primarily based in Guangzhou with my wife's family, and we're just brought the kids here, basically just kind of setting up shop there. So we're spending a lot of time in Guangzhou just to be with her family and, just enjoy some nice slow time with the kids on their summer holiday. But I said, if I've got one trip, I got to go to Chongqing.
And I think it's also notable to say that we managed to meet up with Daniel Dumbrell here, who is based in Chongqing. And he's a very good example. He's got a big family that has moved here, relocated here, and living the dream.
Daniel is a really good friend because he is the one that really inspired me to become a YouTuber. And, I was very, him and I have a lot of connections back to the city of Hong Kong. So we've had a very close connection there. So when the protests happened, it devastated me to see the city just torn apart by these protests. And I was so inspired by Daniel's passion in his videos. I said, I've got to start making videos about China as well. And so I always give the nod to Daniel for inspiring me to get started on that. And very quickly after that, Alex, you and I met, and we met when my channel was just about 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I remember watching your videos, and we were running a show at the time called Let's Talk China, and you and I have kind of inherited it.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So, really excited to keep that going. And I think for the viewers out there, we've got some big plans in the future. I mean, I'm very excited. It looks like moving forward, I'm going to be coming back every summer to China. Very excited for that because I think, talking about China, you need to be here on the ground. That's something that I preach because, again, if you're not on the ground in China and not seeing it for your own eyes, it's really hard to get a good grasp of what's really happening here.
And you're also told some things that actually might not exist in this country.
Yeah.
Like maybe this building behind us.
Exactly. I've got an interesting story here, Alex, is that, for many of my viewers might know, is that my first job here in China, I was a golf professional, and I was working at a course called Sheshan, and the logo of our golf course in Shanghai was actually the oldest Catholic church. That was the logo of our golf course. It was a Catholic church on top of a mountain. And actually, it's quite a historic one because it was built in the early 1800s, and it was still a Catholic church that's used to this day. And so for all the Catholic holidays, all of the Catholic Chinese would be coming to this mountain that was right next to the golf course. So we saw all of these, Chinese people were coming and understand more about China. For example, one of the things when we talk about religion, people can practice any religion inside this country, okay? What you can't do is you can't go on the streets and start being a missionary, right? I can't start, being a Jehovah's Witness and set up a little pamphlet and start handing out pamphlets here on the side of the street. But I have gone to church here in China. I have know many Christian people here. I know many Muslim people here. I know Jewish people here. China honestly doesn't have any problem with religion. And what's interesting is that they have very much this concept of the separation of church and state. And so inside the Chinese government, the government is officially atheist. They have nothing to do with religion. But as far as a private citizen, if you want to practice whatever religion you want, you're free to do that.
To see actually these buildings here, when you're told they don't exist.
Yeah.
It's quite the sight to see. And you got here as a tourist, maybe the costs here to be a tourist, is it a very expensive city? What are you finding it like?
One of the things that's nice is I'm staying at a hotel called the Nicolo Hotel. It is a top 3 hotel in the city, right up there with Westin brand and the Intercontinental. And it's incredible. So I'm staying on the 59th floor. They have, the lobby is beautiful, right? It's on the 62nd floor, beautiful sky bar. But I mean, it's high quality, 5-star international level that you're going to get. That comes in at just under 1,000 RMB a night. So less than $150 a night for that quality. And it's phenomenal.
This is a major city. This is a city that is transforming itself from an industrial city. Many years ago, you couldn't see the sky here.
Right. There's been a revolution, Alex, in the sense that the streets are much cleaner. The honking, the noise has been much reduced. But what I think is so incredible is really the convenience. I mean, I've loved being back here in China and getting on the DD, which is basically the Chinese equivalent of Uber, and getting a clean energy vehicle to pick me up pretty much within a couple of minutes. And it has transformed everything. But I think it's really also it's affordable. The world has to get along with China because China's developing the future world that we want to live in. There's not a single country in the world that can make an EV battery but China. And that is a remarkable fact. In fact, even the New York Times did an entire breakdown of this and why China has this strategic advantage, because it's the manufacturing technique, it's the entire fact that they process all the minerals, everything that is needed for an EV battery is done inside of this country. So there is no other option but collaboration with China, right? Even if you say, hey, I don't want to buy a Chinese EV, screw that, I'm only going to buy a Tesla. Well, there's a 50% chance that Tesla was built in Shanghai Gigafactory, because that's where 50% of the Teslas are in fact made. And the simple reality is the batteries are still coming from China. Many of the critical parts are coming from China. So again, it's the same thing that we hear when I hear people saying, we need to cut off from China. We got to stop manufacturing our stuff in China. There's no possible way for the United States to decouple from China. It's not possible. It would backfire. It would cost American consumers too much money. And the simple reality is, like you said, we're here in Chongqing. I mean, you've got all of these American brands, Starbucks, the Pizza Hut, the McDonald's, the food.
You just mentioned American brands. Well, let's hop into my little convenience store. Well, what do we have here in this shop? Well, Budweiser has no problem selling beers, but I think we'll support our local economy. Let's have the old Chongqing beer.
Nice.
We'll throw that up on the counter. And everybody, I tell you, this is a fantastic city here in Southwest China. I would say, nicknamed the furnace because it's quite hot. And well, we're gonna go back, sit and have a couple of cold ones. That's a good old $1.50 for two highball beers. Thank you very much, sir. Goodbye together from the lovely city of Chongqing. Once again, you have to find this guy.
Yeah.
His name is Cyrus Jansen. His links are going to be in the description below. I just want to say, everyone, once again, thanks for supporting my channel and going for a nice little walk with us.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Alex, it's just, I think what's so much fun about this is the fact that we started a friendship on, through YouTube. And, we've spent actually many hours talking. We've been on many live streams. We've, chat all the time on WeChat. And it's just amazing to see that culminating in a second trip here to really spending a couple of days together, which is nice. But it's nice to be here and to see the city that you've really helped grow a lot. By the way, this guy's a celebrity. When he's out on the streets, people recognize him all the time. Thanks for having me.
And where are we gonna meet?
Shanghai 2023, Chongqing 24. Wait for the next collaboration in Beijing 2025.
Looking for it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.